Welcome back to my channel for a short Nikon episode. And in this episode, I want to have a look at the Nikkor 85mm f1.2 from the S line in the Nikkor Z lineup. And that is an absolutely brilliant, fantastic lens for people photography, although it's very large and very heavy. And I will go through the specifications in the course of the video. And in particular for portraits, this lens is absolutely amazing, is one of my most favorite lenses. And of course, 85mm is a portrait lens, a lens for people and fashion photography, but you can also use it for compressed landscape, which is something I will not cover in this video here. And this lens has my full recommendation, and you will very likely agree when you see the sample images. Let's kick this off. Alright, so most of you know that my personal ambition for the number of subscribers to my channel for year-end 2024 was 50,000. And indeed, and of course, thanks to all of you, on the weekend before the new year started, my subscriber count crossed 50,000, which made me very, very happy at the end of this gorgeous year. And this is all due to you, of course, to our great community of people who share their passion for photography and technology. So many thanks for that. I wish you all a very happy new year, and that your dreams and wishes become your reality in 2025. And now, of course, let's get right into the topic of that beautiful 85mm lens. Looking at this camera lens combo here, I have quite something in my hand. The Nikon Z9 is a massive camera body, of course very practical because you can shoot it in portrait orientation and have all the buttons here in the same way as you have them at your disposal in horizontal orientation. And the camera body has some weight, and of course the lens here is not only large, and that speaks for a lot of glass inside and hopefully optical properties which you will not find somewhere else. It also has substantial weight of 1160 grams if you look into the spec sheet. From a design perspective, this 85mm lens is minimalistic. There are not that many elements on it. Let's get a bit closer to the camera. So here you have a switch. This is currently set up for autofocus. If I turn it to manual focus, it's simple like that. Back to autofocus, we have here a programmable function button that is standard on S-line lenses, and you can set up in the menu what you want to assign to that. We have here a programmable control ring, and that ring is set currently to aperture. If you look into the camera here, we see here is the aperture currently widest open at f1.2, and then I can stop this down here via that ring all the way to f16, and that's end of story. And then I can open it up to an f1.2 again via that control ring here, which is nice to have it at your disposal. Then we have a focus ring here, and that is done in the usual way. And we have here some grip element, which is only to actually hold the lens because it's so heavy. So you cannot rotate this, there's no function on it, it's just you can use it to get a firm grip with the camera when you focus on your subject. And that is of course also appreciated. You can also hold it here on the massive lens hood if you want, but I think this one here is more practical because of the structure of that rubber texture here, and I like shooting the lens in this way. Before looking into sample images of a shooting with my model Sabrina, let's quickly go through the specifications of this lens. So first of all, we have here 15 lens elements in 10 groups, so that's a very complex construction. We have one ED glass element, two aspherical elements, and of course we have a very snappy autofocus. I'm going to show that in a moment. We have a stepping motor, that's always helpful in the Nikkor lineup for quick and also silent autofocus, so video filming will go very well with that lens here. We have a minimum focusing distance of 0.85 meter, that's why also my model Jennifer is a bit in a distance here, and the maximum reproduction ratio is 0.11 times. So this lens is also good for close-up shots if you use the minimum focusing distance in the usual way. Then we have here a filter thread of 82mm, so filters, if you use neutral density filters or polar filters, will be at the more expensive range. And as I said before, the weight of this lens all in is 1160 grams. Autofocus is super quick and super snappy. So first of all, in the menu, I'm here at 3D tracking, autofocus continuous, and if I half press the shutter button, the focus jumps immediately to Jennifer's face. And you see it will also recognize the eyes in no time here. Look at that. super snappy, super fast, halfway pressing the shutter button. Very nice, and in general the autofocus system of the Z9 is absolutely brilliant, and that lens plays very, very nicely with the Nikon Z9 and of course also with the newer Nikon Z8. Focus tracking also works very, very well with the Nikon Z9 and its fantastic autofocus system, and as I said before, plays nicely with that lens. If I half press the shutter button, Jennifer's eye is found. I can move the camera so my subject could move, and in a three-dimensional way it will always remain sticky on the eye of the subject. And I had not any image I could not use. The eyes were always pinpoint sharp in my shooting with Sabrina. Okay, so I've selected now a few sample images from my shooting with Sabrina, which I wanted to show here in order to give you a clear impression of the quality of that 85mm lens widest open f1.2. And this is the first image I wanted to show. This is shot at f1.2 ISO 100. And first of all, please have a look at this beautiful soft background bokeh. This is absolutely amazing. Widest open, this lens is a dream. It's something I've hardly seen with any other lens. And at 85mm with f1.2, of course, you get basically the background almost vanishing in nirvana. There is hardly anything recognizable. But what's also absolutely convincing is the sharpness of the lens. Look at Sabrina's eyes here. Look at that. This is so sharp, and you see how shallow the depth of field is at f1.2 because her left-hand side eye here is pinpoint sharp, the right-hand side eye is already blurry. A very beautiful performance of this absolutely spectacular lens. Let's go quickly through the photos here. Here another one shot at f1.2. You see the background blurriness. This is super, super soft. You have such amazing options to separate the foreground, namely my model here, from the background is absolutely mind-blowing. And look again at the sharpness here. Really cool. Look at that. Everything is there. This is so sharp, so convincingly crisp that it knocks me out of my shoes. Let's go to the next one here. Same image. Look at Sabrina's eyes here. You again see that the left-hand side eye is pinpoint sharp. That's where the focus was sitting. The right-hand side eye is a little bit blurry in the background, and you can work so creatively with that lens. Let's go to the next one. Here is another image of Sabrina. They are all shot widest open at f1.2. Look at that, so crisp, so clean, very nice. Same story here. You know, you see all the details. Let's go back here. Let's go to her lips here. You see the structure. Everything is so nicely captured by that lens. I'm so excited about shooting that lens, you know, in portraits, in fashion, what have you. Here a half body shot of Sabrina, and this one here is now shot at f5.6. You get a bit more information on the background here, but it is still blurry. So if you want to actually set an accent to the background and give the viewer of the photo some information what the background was, you see the fence here, the guy in the background, you can recognize there is something going on, but it is still separating the foreground from the background, and Sabrina's eyes and face are super sharp here. Let's continue. Let's continue. Here another one, f1.2, and look here at the background. How nicely is that rendered? This lens is so convincing in my opinion, and on the Nikon Z9 and Nikon Z8 it makes a perfect performance. Let's continue. Here another one, shot at f1.2, widest open. This lens is made to be shot widest open. Don't even think about shooting it at f5.6 as I said before, except you want to give the viewer some information about what's going on in the background. But otherwise f1.2 is just fine. This image of course was shot at a difference. So you see the farther you go into the background, the more blurry the image gets. The closer you are to the model, the more information you get that there are trees and leaves, you know, here in the background. Let's continue. Let's continue. Here at the river in Zurich, same here. This is f1.2 again. Look at Sabrina's face, eyes, eyelashes, pinpoint sharp. The river in the background is just dreamy. That's what this lens is delivering from all angles. Same here, you know, the same pictures. Here she's standing very close to this sign here. The sign is already blurry at f1.2, shallow depth of field as I said, but her face, the eyes, pinpoint sharp. So I could continue for a while. Here's an image I shot just for demonstration purposes. Look at this beautiful soft background here. Everything is basically vanishing into nirvana. There is really nothing going on. You have no idea, is it a forest in the background? Is it something else with a green color going on? But in the foreground where the focus was sitting at f1.2, you get sharpness, crispiness, all the details. And I think that concludes my quick walk through some of the sample images. Let's conclude the video. All right, that's it. I hope you like this little demonstration. This is a fantastic lens for portraits, fashion, people photography, in combination with the terrific autofocus system of the Nikon Z9 and the newer Nikon Z8. You will not regret having invested money in that lens. Image quality is absolutely astonishing, and I can fully recommend that lens, as I said in my intro to this video. If you liked that video, don't forget to drop me a thumbs up. Stay tuned on my channel, there's always more to come. Thanks for watching, stay safe and healthy, and of course, peace out.